Hello, everyone. You're on SK Live. I'm your host, Indradil Basu. Today we have Indian football striker, Mr. Robin Singh, with us. Robin, good to see you. How are you?
Pleasure to see you, sir. I'm well, and I hope you're well and safe as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm in your old town, Noida. So
Yes,
it's just the same in everywhere. Wherever you go, it's just the numbers are all going up every day.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed, praying for everyone's
I know.
safety, number one, and then secondly, praying that the vaccine comes out soon. I want to get back to playing football in front of my friends, family, and fans, and I can't. I
Absolutely.
don't like empty stadiums. I love your background, but I don't like it empty.
I know. This is one area we need to really work out. This pandemic has also transformed a lot of people in a good way.
For sure.
You know,
Yes.
I mean, people who have been with their families, people, it's a lot of negativity. People must have realized the importance of being positive. I know positive is not the right word at this moment,
Hmm. Not at all.
not at all. But so how what has changed in your life in last 4 months, 4 months or so?
I think, as you said, we all got this opportunity to sit down and think to ourselves and get time for ourselves. And as an athlete, as much as we love the sport, at some point, life, apart from sport, takes a back seat. So we've been able to cherish the family time a lot more.
Yeah.
Usually when you travel, you have your family coming with you and you visit certain places, but it's never in one single place for a long period of time. And there are only certain times you can be thankful to the coronavirus. This is one of them where I get to be home with my family, spending
Mm.
quality time with everybody, and lending out a helping hand to my friends, to my family, at home, and whoever needs my help. If I can help them, I'm always around.
Absolutely, that's a lovely thought. So, what's your training schedule like? I mean, how you doing? I believe you're in Goa, right?
Yes. So yes, Noida is home, but now Goa is slowly and steadily becoming home. I shifted out of the northern part of the country probably, I would say, 5 years ago. I was in Bombay
Yeah.
for a while, and then we moved to Goa. Once I got married, I decided, I want to move to Goa from just the aspect of tranquility and the facility for outdoor sport. I'm a very outdoor person. Growing up, I was always outdoor. I got so many times I got beaten up by my mother just to come home and study. So being in Goa, I have the opportunity to do that even now when I've grown up. So it's a little better than Noida, I would say, or Greater Noida, I would say at the moment. But you still got to be precautious because yes, it's lesser than the rest of the country, but it's not done. The virus is still around. But apart from the virus, and let's not talk about that anymore. The
Yeah.
training at home has been a small gym setup where I make sure that I work on myself from an agility, a strengthening point of view, and then now that the city is finally slowly opening, I have the opportunity to go and train on a pitch by myself and improve every other thing that I can think of.
The best part about being in Goa, they say it's of course the parties and all that. Then it's your home right now, but running on the beach. I
Yes.
mean, there isn't more strengthening than running on the beach for the legs.
Not at all, not at all. I think when we had to maintain a lot more distance, and
Yeah.
I tried playing foot volley for a while in Goa, and also as you said, I was running on the beaches just to change the environment, but just still be safe as well. Because you know 13 years of football, I've always been on a pitch, and now being
Yes.
at home, I miss the pitch again, and I want to get back to it as soon as possible. But for now, the beaches are lovely. It's raining. There's a certain charm and a joy of running in the rain.
Absolutely.
It's so calming with the beach wind and the beach. You can hear the sound of the waves crashing. I
Yes.
can keep going on and on.
I know.
Let me just stop. Yeah, let me just stop. I can keep going on and on about it.
You can actually write a poetry. When you're
I
running. A
hope I
lot of
can. I hope I can.
no. I
Don't know
mean,
how good that is.
no. This is so important to stay positive at
Yeah,
these time
yeah.
testing times. But tell me something. You've been in and out of the system for a little while. You little injuries happen. Plagued by injuries. So how do you manage your injuries?
Correct.
I know it's very tough for an athlete to stay away from the turf, as you said. Now you've got a time to rest. Your body is healed,
Right.
and maybe that's why you're saying you're really
Right.
dying to go on the turf. So tell me what's your injury management looks like?
Right. One thing that you said from the start,
Yeah,
positivity. I think that's very important for me to be as positive as I can. And secondly, I've always believed in myself. I have always been someone who never gives up, no matter what the odds are. No
yeah,
matter what the odds are, I will never give up. My nature does not like giving up and does not like losing. And
yeah.
that I think has helped me so much. Yes, there, but a lot of the battle is always mental, and I think a lot of injured athletes, not just footballers, will tell you that you can have everybody around you, and it's the most amazing feeling to have people giving you the support. But a lot of the
Yeah.
battle is mental. If you overcome the mental battle, half the battle is literally, as they say, won. Half the battle is won. It's here, and you just have to be strong, and then you just have to keep working, believe in yourself, believe in your abilities, and the rest will follow.
So as a young man, Robin, I was told that you also were a good cricketer, besides being a good footballer. So how what so what prompted you to make that, choose football over cricket?
I think if we go back to the beginning, I was 14, and it was a rainy season, just like it is now in Goa. It was a rainy season, and there was no cricket happening. I went to play with my friends in Cambridge School, Noida,
Uh, yeah,
and I
yeah,
luckily met Anadi Barua over there, who's a coach
yes,
from Delhi, and
yes,
he turned around and said, "Would you like to come to Chandigarh?" And I said, yes, it's a holiday for me as well in from my schools, and I'd love to come to Chandigarh. It's gets me
yeah.
another reason to get out of the house, as they say. So I jumped on that train with the rest of the team, and we went and played there. And that's where St. Stephen's Chandigarh coach Bhupinder Singh and Surinder Singh, who's I think a national selector now, or part of AIFF now, Mr. Surinder Singh. He approached Anadi sir and said, "I like that boy. Is he available?" And I just took that option, and I took that question to my parents and said, "Listen, mom, dad, this is what it is. St. Stephen's Chandigarh would like for me to shift base to Chandigarh and become a footballer." And I know I was asking for permission because I'm a child, but in my head, I had chosen. I had in my head and my heart, I had chosen that I want to be a footballer, and I think that stems from Calcutta, and that's the root. And my father's name is Captain Ajit Singh, and he
Yeah.
was also a footballer.
Okay.
So he was also a footballer, and I think as they say, it runs in the blood from both ends for me, especially. And mom and dad said, "Listen, if this is what you want to do, you should go ahead and do it." And I love that I got the liberty from my parents to take that decision by myself, and it's been my favorite decision ever. It's given me so much joy to be a footballer. It's an amazing feeling to call myself a footballer because it's my passion that has turned into my profession. I don't think it gets better than that.
So how what was you? I mean, as a cricketer, were you a bowler,
I
batsman,
was
all
an
rounder?
opening bowler. I was an opening bowler and an
Wow.
opening batsman. I was a fast bowler, and well, there was no 2020. No matter what age group you are, you had a difference of 5 overs, which is 45 or 50. So whatever it may be, if you're an opening bowler and you have a six overs, you will probably bowl 3 overs and then wait till the end overs, and
Yeah.
you gotta help your team win games. And I think as a batsman, I was the hard hitter. One's more composed when he goes out to bat, and then there's me who tries to mentally demolish the bowler that's coming in to bowl as quick as he can. And I just used to smash balls. I used to love hitting the ball as hard as I could. And that transcends into football now. I just love hitting the ball as hard as I can.
Absolutely. And if you're a good athlete, you can play any sport. It need not be only a football or a hockey, or you can get into any sport and look like, as if you belong there.
Very true. From playing cricket to football, I love watching tennis as well. I love watching UFC as well, and still, like if given the opportunity and there's IPL coming on TV, I'd love to watch it. I have no qualms in saying that I love sport. As you said, as an athlete, it's not about keeping a straight, just keeping your eyes closed and saying football, football, football. It's about broadening your horizons and learning from every athlete that you can. Every athlete or every individual has something to offer that you can learn from.
Yeah, absolutely. Your mom, I believe she's a Bengali, and Bengalis love their football. So was she part of that decision that you'll become a footballer? Was she a huge decision maker there?
So obviously, my mom is Anglo-Indian. Yes,
Okay.
she is from Calcutta. Uh,
Okay.
my
Okay.
parents were very liberal in general, and it was never a strict decision that this is what you have to do. Right. It was always follow your heart, which I still do. Even in my personal life, I follow my heart. Whatever my heart wants to do, I do. So, whereas have my parents ever forced me into not just sport but life? Never, never at all. I think me being happy is what makes them content with their life as well.
Absolutely. You can't ask for a better thing when your family comes, and supports you the way you want to be supported, and it's a lovely thing. And
Not
coming to that. Sorry.
No, no, please go ahead, Indranil. Please, please.
No, no, I
Sorry to
was, I
cut
was,
you off.
I mean, it's a lovely thing, that keeps you going. And when you're really having a tough time, whatever reason, you have an injury, this and that, the family support makes so much difference to an athlete. And we just
Most
from outside see the glossy part of it, the sport, the glamour part of it, what they get, how much they're laughing all the way to their to their banks and things like that. But the hard work which everyone puts in. So talking about the hard work bit, how much, what drives you to work harder, even if you're nearing 30, or you're probably 30 years old right now. So what drives you to work hard
I'm I'm
at this
30
age?
now.
Yeah. So what drives you to work hard even at this age?
So I'm 30 now, and I think as everything, family is very important to me, and I have a loving wife that also pushes me and supports me in my career option now, and that's wonderful to see. As you said, it's transcended from my family into the family that I am going to make in the future, and that support is very important because if you're happy and you're calm in your personal life, professional life
Yeah.
is easy. As you said, there are you see the glossy part of it, right? It's because that's what's shown.
Yeah.
Footballers are shown to be these glamorous people who have no problems in the world, but it's not like that. It's always a mix of both. Where you have happiness in your personal life and your personal growth, which transcends into football as well. So it's an amazing feeling to have a support system, and I think that's what drives me to work hard every day. And when I say my support system, I don't mean just family. I mean my friends, my family, my supporters, my fans, whatever you want to call them. I put them into a bubble of family.
I know what Calcutta means to, I mean, Calcutta and football, they're like very close to each other. I've seen other players other cities in the country. I've seen Goa, I've seen Bombay. Huge passion for football, especially coming from Delhi, uh, because I've been here for
Hmm.
last more than a decade, more than 2 decades, in fact. And the passion for football was always there in the older section of Delhi. But as a city, it was
Hmm.
never about football. So what do you have to say? Because in a city like Delhi, which has a lot of passion for cricket and other sport, and football is something which
Right.
is really lagging. I always felt
I
like
think
that. What are your thoughts?
I I I selectively agree with you, if I may say. And when I say selectively, is because when I was growing up, and you being from Noida, I
Yeah.
used to go all the way to Chhatarpur to play. I
Okay.
used to go all the way every second day to play for maybe 1 hour. So I took the drive for 2.5 hours every day to play football, right? And
Yeah.
now coming back to the part where why is Delhi not big enough? I think that's a question where the people in charge have to make us understand as athletes. Because me being and belonging from Noida or Delhi, I'd love to play for Delhi. And as you saw, I did play for Delhi Dynamos, and I loved playing for Delhi. I loved that association, and it just didn't last. So I think this is a question that we need to put to the higher officials and ask them, what can we do to bring the sport up in Delhi? Because as a nation, we're definitely growing. We're definitely growing in every aspect, be it women's football or men's football. Now it's just about coming together and achieving. That's all we need to do.
You talked about Chhatarpur, even Gurgaon is so vibrant in terms of kids wanting to play football. They are so well versed with all the European soccer players, and on soccer happening all over the world. They're so well versed with it. And then you come to a city where there is no facility. You go to Goa, you go around the city. There's so many facilities. You go to
Yeah,
Calcutta, you go to Bombay. So the facilities will have to be,
right.
that infrastructure should be there for kids to come and actually. And if someone would ask
Yeah,
me which sport a kid should take up, I would definitely recommend football. What a sport, isn't it? It's the most famous sport in the
it's
world.
it's it's for me. It's not just a sport; it's a feeling as well. It makes me feel so happy. It gives me immense happiness. As I said at the start of this interview, that it gives me so much joy to call myself a footballer because my passions turn into my profession. There are a lot of people who long to do this, and if as a city, Delhi can provide that to the young and upcoming footballers or any athlete, no matter how big or small they want to play football for, that's all that matters. And I think it's only a matter of time. We've seen the nation grow as a sporting nation, and Delhi will soon follow.
Absolutely.
It's a nation. It's not just a sporting city. It's a nation because we're all coming together, and I'm sure Delhi will follow.
You know, who was your childhood hero? I mean, we all have childhood heroes when we grow up. I remember my hero used to
For
be
me,
yeah.
sorry, I didn't catch you. Who
No,
did you say? Who's
I said my childhood hero was Maradona. When we were growing up, in 80s and
uh-huh.
90s, it was all Maradona. So
Right.
who was your childhood hero?
For me, I started my football as a left back. So I loved watching Roberto Carlos play. I loved watching Roberto Carlos play. And I think that was one of the reasons why I said I want to play left back. Because I think every left back or every defensive play that you see attacking has a bit of Carlos flair. And for me, being a Madrid fan, now I can also see that in Marcelo doing the same thing that Roberto Carlos did. So, it just again it was the beginning with Roberto Carlos, and then obviously I transcended or transitioned into being a striker. And over the years, yes, the idols have changed because I would say I have the luxury of watching world class talent at the tap of a button on my screen.
Yeah, that is also there. And the best striker you've seen, all throughout as
Me,
in a throughout the journey. Yeah,
I think in the past decade, I would have to say Cristiano Ronaldo. I would have to say I'm a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. I love the records he breaks, the work ethic he brings. No matter which league he goes to, he wins it.
yeah,
If he's not winning leagues, then he's scoring number of record-breaking goals. And I think and that is an athlete. No disrespect to Messi, but that's an athlete that probably a lot of people will say it happened once a decade or twice a decade.
that's a big one. And the club versus country debate. We keep hearing stories about how players are, they give their best shot for their
Uh-huh.
club, the big players at world football, and
Right.
and they don't have that kind of same kind of energy when they're playing for the country. Uh, you
Hmm.
know, I mean, a Messi, for instance, he's a great club
Right.
footballer, but he's not won anything for Argentina. So, your thoughts
Mhm.
on
I
those?
think I think both of these players are so talented that it kind of comes down to, even with them just being on the pitch, that gives such a
Yeah,
mental boost to all their teammates, be it for club and country. With the club football, we say they're not performing as much as a country football is because you don't see them play enough. Yes, now the number of national games are improving as well, and it
Yeah.
again, I sometimes I do feel bad for Messi that he's not won anything for the country, but you cannot take his personal accomplishments away from him in general as an athlete or as a footballer. So I think for me, he's a world class athlete. And the rest, whereas Argentina is concerned, it's a team sport. It's football's always a team sport, not just for Messi, not just for Ronaldo, for myself as well. It's a team sport. At the end of the day, the results matter.
I mean, we obviously we have a great team. We're doing well right now in little in Asian football and all that. So, what
Right.
is lacking in Indian sport? I mean, Indian football. Is it the speed? Is it the stamina? Is it the skill set? We are very skill wise. We are there. I know, but is it the stamina? Is it the speed? And what are we doing about it?
I think lacking is a very strong word to begin with. I think we are growing as a nation.
Okay,
Everybody brings up this conversation and debate about when will India play in the World Cup.
I know. Yeah,
The simple answer to that is let's build on ourselves, number one. Let's take over Asia and then attack the world. It's a stepping stone. Let's be a powerhouse in Asia. And when you say, where are we lacking? I would say look at the growth because there was a time we were 167, 169 in the world, right? And then we broke the top 100 bracket in the past 10 years. Yes, the transition is slow, but it's not stopped. So it's only a
yeah,
matter of time before we become a powerhouse in Asia because you've seen all the boys that play for the national team right now playing well for the club as well. And with Igor Stimac coming in, he's given opportunity to boys that work hard and are willing to play with their hearts. And
absolutely.
that's something so great to see. Whereas somebody like me who's playing with everything that he's got to represent his nation again, it's a spark. It's a spark for me that I want to get back onto the national team. I want to play for my country again. I'm not done yet. I want to play again. I want to play for my nation again.
No, I was not saying it was lacking. I was saying little
Yeah,
behind, lagging, little
100%.
behind. Behind. We need to be little forward. But a tournament like the Indian Super League, is it helping Indian football? I want to know from you.
For sure. For sure,
Yeah,
I think we're playing with so many great international footballers. Myself,
absolutely.
I've had the opportunity to play with the likes of Flora Maluda, Roberto Carlos, my favorite footballer, John Aaron Risa. All of these boys. I started the ISL with these guys, and go to previous years. ISL superstar Ian Hume, I loved playing with him.
Yeah,
Marcelino, I loved playing with him. Marco, these are internationals that I'm just naming. Then Indian boys like Sandesh Jingan, Sahat, Anirudh, Brandon, Mandarao Desai, Sunil Chetri. These are boys that are putting our nation at the top of their game. These are the boys that are giving competition to every international, and these guys are winning trophies and helping take Indian football forward. So the Indian Super League has helped us raise our confidence, number one, raise our technical abilities, number two, and our tactical abilities with the kind of coaches that are coming in as well. These are coaches that have trained at the highest level, and they're coming in and helping us. And
absolutely.
we as footballers, I can speak for myself here. I am a sponge. If there's a coach telling me something, I am all ears. I want to learn. Every day I'm learning something. Every day I'm watching a new game. Every day I want to listen to
Absolutely.
something new because I want to learn. I want to improve. And I think if I am saying this, even the other boys are on the same level as well. Because we all want to play for our nation. We all want to be the best version of ourselves to represent our nation.
Absolutely. I remember how IPL started, 2007, 8. We had a good team. We were winning. We were losing. Everything was happening. But from the time IPL came and our players got to rub their shoulders with foreign nationals, and the entire, setup changed. And look at where India stands today. We are really a good team. We have a good batting, bowling, very good all round side. So that's what IPL did, and thank God, ISL is also there trying to promote football and
Yeah,
get more matches for a footballer, and
for
playing
sure.
quality matches.
I think
And
that's very important. That's, as you said, that's very important. And the fact that when we get to rub shoulders with these international, it's not just like, okay, let me look at them and see what they do. We're learning everything from how they play to what they eat to their fitness regimes to their workout regimes, and we're asking these questions that I, a couple of years back, we wouldn't have. We would have just played and enjoyed the football because that's what it is. As I said, it's a sense of happiness. It's a feeling of happiness that we get playing the game, and now we're realizing that this listen. Let's not just play. Let's make the most out of this. Let's
absolutely,
build as a nation. And I think now the whole nation is coming together to say that let's be a powerhouse in Asia. Let's take on the world.
absolutely. And what I really like is, we are hearing. I mean, it's not confirmed as of now. They are having going to have a longer season in ISL, which is even going to be better for Indian football, isn't it?
Fingers crossed. The more games we play, the more we will improve
Ab-
ourselves. That's why we train, to improve ourselves. And at the end of the day, the training has to come into the game. So if we get more games, we get to play more, we get to learn more, we get to achieve more.
Absolutely, there's no two ways about it. And how was it playing for East Bengal? Kolkata is and is vibrant. I know how people support there. I've spent my childhood there, so I know how Kolkata is mad after football. One every derby game, you have 1 lakh crowd coming. So the feeling, how was it playing there for East
Hmm.
Bengal?
It was. I have goosebumps. I'm not lying. I have goosebumps even thinking about it. It was coming from TFA and a club with such rich heritage and history, showing their
Yes,
confidence in the abilities that I can bring to the table is an immense confidence booster, not just for myself but any young athlete. And East Bengal showing their faith in me and signing me on. Uh, it was an amazing feeling, and I think that's what made me play such great football for the club. They're believing in me, and the fans believing in me. There's this small story where I was in Calcutta and I had no idea about the roads, so I took my car and I drove down a wrong way, and it was right after the derby, my first derby, and I scored. Um, and the guy said, "Stop, stop, stop, stop!" And I stopped, and he said, "Where are you going? This is one way." I said, "Sorry, sir, I don't know the roads. I have no idea where I'm going." He literally came to me and I said, "You're Robin Singh. Firstly, thank you. Thank you." And I was like, "For what?" He's like, "I can go home with my head held high and said, I follow East Bengal." I said, "No problem, sir, but you have to find me because I'm on the wrong way." He's like, "This one time I will let you go. Don't do it again." I think that story is my favorite story about East Bengal fans. I still remember. I think it was at Park Street. If I went down the wrong way, and it was probably my favorite moments. Probably my favorite moments of year one.
even today also, anyone who's going there will get confused when it's one way, when it's not one way. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very confusing there. It's quite
I had
confusing, but
no idea. I had no idea where I was going, and thankfully, I had some traffic police who helped me out. So I was so thankful.
no, they love their football. They love their heroes, and even guys who cover football, guys who cover sport, they are also worshipped so well there because they follow their articles. It's very vibrant city in a way, which
Very.
very very vibrant, and they know their heroes. They know their favorite stars, who's doing what. There is
Yeah.
discussion at the tea stalls. So there is adda, which is of course an English word right now. So they
Yeah.
have these addas, the people get together, they discuss the prospect of the next match, what Robin Singh is going to do. So
Yeah.
it's really different from what we see in rest of India. People have a lot of time for sports, which is so important.
I know. I know, and I think that culture is very important. I think everything deserves a bit of history, it deserves a bit of heritage, and East Bengal and Mohun Bagan are bringing that into Indian football. No disrespect to every new team from the ISL, and even the old teams from Calcutta itself. Everybody has played their part for the growth of Indian football today. But this is where we stand. We're at the ISL today, and now it's only to look forward.
You know, Mohun Bagan, of course, will be playing the ISL, and there is a huge sentiment
Right.
in Calcutta that why
Hmm.
is East Bengal not there?
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts? You're a East Bengal player.
It's like I know. I think these are two names that have to be together. There is no two ways about it. These two names cannot be said out loud differently. They have to be said in the same sentence. Whenever it may be, it has to. So I think if East Bengal, Mohun Bagan is with ATK, it's only a matter of time before East Bengal comes in. So I've got my fingers crossed. I love I love East Bengal, and if ever they want me, I'll be right here.
No, really. And I remember, the fans going in trucks and in matador vans towards the stadium. So how was it playing in front of lakhs of, every match, every derby match was a had a lakh attendance. So how was it playing there in
It's
Calcutta? First time
it's
you
an
went in.
unbelievable feeling. It was an un that was I was coming to my first time. It was an unbelievable feeling. We're warming up and the grounds are full. And I am thinking, where am I? And coming to that, every time you attack, there is
Yeah.
a roar coming from behind you, and that roar gives you that little bit extra that you need as an athlete, saying, you're getting tired, and then you hear these people chanting your names and shouting about East Bengal and making so much noise. You're like, you know what? Even if I'm tired, I have to give it all. I have to give it for these people who've driven in trucks, loads of trucks from far, far away to see their team win. That's that's a special feeling. That's a special feeling when you can send them home happy. It's also not a special feeling when the other team loses, because I've also seen the other part where cars have been burnt. It's so every I've seen when a team's lost, I've seen the fans getting angry, saying, "How can you lose this game? This is the only game we need you to win." And I'm just like, "Oh, I know. On to the next one. I will make sure I win the next one for you."
Yeah, it's the sentiments really run high over there, isn't it? It's an amazing place.
Really,
And
yeah,
and I've seen in my locality where I spent my childhood, people used to actually put the club flags on their balconies, on their windows, to announce that today is my team playing. That's the
yeah.
kind of pride they carried, which is amazing. I don't think anywhere in India you'll find this kind of sentiment.
No, I don't think so. And I think that club culture also transcends into country culture. When the World Cup is on, you will see sects of Argentina,
Yes.
Portugal, and Brazil also happening. I've seen that as well. I
Yes, yes.
remember. I remember driving to the Salt. I used to live in Salt Lake, so whenever you're driving past
Okay.
into the city, on that
Yeah.
signal there is one old building with a Mohun Bagan flag right down the middle of it. So people were like, "Yeah, okay, no problem. We'll wave past you when we beat you. No problem."
But talking about football, Indian football, I think Tata Football Academy, I think it's in
Yeah.
Jamshedpur, it's also been quite, it has got quite a contribution to Indian football. We can't take it away. So tell me about those days when you were
Yeah.
at the Tata Football Academy. How was it? What, why is it a special place for footballers, young budding footballers?
I think it's a special. I think, but I can speak for myself. It's a
Yeah,
special place for me because I was given the opportunity to prove myself that I have the ability to become a professional footballer, and I
yeah,
say this with a thankful heart towards Tata Football Academy, because I came to them after I was told from Chandigarh that I will never become a footballer. And I did not tell Tata Football Academy to take me in. I said, "Sir, I will come for a trial. Please accept me at the trial. And if you think I am good enough, then only, give me the opportunity to stay at the academy." And I think it was a 7-day trial. I went there with my father. I have this memory of living at the hotel which faces the Tata Football Academy ground. And I looked out the window the first morning of the trial and I said, "I'm not going back home. This is where I belong. This is what I want to do, and I will do everything." And I'm actually trying to control tears here because that's what it was. That's what it meant to me, because I had to. This was the opportunity for me to grab it with both hands, and Tata Football Academy gave me that opportunity when a Chandigarh Football Academy said I'll never become a footballer. And I am where I am today for the base that Tata Football Academy and Noida created for me.
Perfect and amazing, amazing story. Your training, you trained in places like UAE and England also.
Yeah.
That also helped, and when you're training with little superior teams and all that. That must have helped
Yes.
you football as well, right?
Yes, I think everywhere that I've gone, even at this age, when I go and train with trainers from international countries, is because I want to learn. So when I was given the opportunity by UAE, I had a manager that I met there, an agent that I met there, and I said I wanna test myself. I want to train with whatever club is available to take me, and I went and just trained, and I was up for the battle. I was up for the challenges that I faced both in UAE and England, and I trained both places for I would say around roundabout of 2 weeks, and I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to be as I called myself. I just wanted to be a sponge. I wanted to learn as much as I can and bring it to my country and use it to the best of my abilities. A to take my nation forward, and B to bring whatever I can learn from there and implement it into our country as well. Because at the end of the day, I'm proud to be Indian. Whatever I learn, I want to take my country forward with what I have learned.
Absolutely.
I'm not someone that I want to keep it to myself. If there is an X advice that I can give to a young and budding footballer, I'll be very open to give it and say I learned it from a UAE, I learned it from an England, I learned it from a Marco or a Marcelino or a Ian Hume. It's only good to share knowledge. It's only good to share knowledge. That's how you grow. Be confident in your abilities and share the knowledge with someone who's willing to learn. And that was me. And that is me. I'm willing to learn every day, no matter where I go.
That really keeps us alive and kicking, and everything we do, we have to keep learning every day, whatever we do. But coming to your participation for India, you've taken part in 30 games,
Hmm.
international for India. uh, you could have probably scored more, because people
Hmm.
generally associate with number of goals you've scored, but
Yeah.
it's also about, as you said, playing for the team. So
Yeah.
how important is it for you to pass the ball rather than scoring yourself?
Always. This has been a debate saying Robin doesn't score enough.
Is it
Is
okay?
is my team 3 points? Yes, my work is done.
Yeah.
I have to make sure that my team wins before my name on the team sheet comes. As a striker, I love scoring goals. That's what it means to me. If you compare the 30 stats to the 5 goals, I'd love to have 31 goals or 60 goals for that matter. You know, but at the end of the day, what if I scored hat tricks on hat tricks, but my team kept losing? It
Yeah.
doesn't make a difference to me. It
Creating
doesn't. For me, it's about creating opportunity. I can easily say that when me and Sunil played at the first year of Bangalore FC, we were a threat that also transcended into the national team, where unfortunately I got injured at the South Games. We were both scoring goals. The Guam goal was me and him combining. My first goal against Sri Lanka was me and him combining. It's just about both strikers, what's the word, complementing each other. And I think as strikers, that's what I love to do. If I can assist my teammate in helping my team win, yes. If I can score goals, definitely yes. There is never a day where I think that, that okay, no problem, I didn't score. There is every day I think of that I didn't score every day. But what keeps me going and keeps me happy is that I played with my heart and my team has won. That's all that matters to me. They will never, if you speak to somebody else, I think they can vouch for the fact that Robin plays for us, and that's
Oh,
very
that's
important to
perfect.
me. That that
That
that's that's a stat that's very important for me, where my teammates say that he plays for us. That's the most important stat for me.
that's the spirit of football, and that's why I
It,
always recommend kids should always play football, because it develops so much of team spirit within you. It's not about being alone, it's not being individualistic, it's also about a group,
yeah,
about a group of people you're representing,
yeah,
the club, whatever, the country, the
yeah,
whatever level you play, school team. that thing, if it's given to you, it's
100%.
inculcated at a very early age, it really helps to build, a good youngster becoming a very independent man. That is very important. And a game like football gives you that. I've always felt like whenever we played at whatever levels, so it gave you that
Uh-huh.
feeling.
I I agree with you, and I completely, with all my heart, agree with you with what you said. It makes you an independent man, number one, and it makes you understand what being a confident man is. And I think that's that's followed me into my personal life as well. My footballers are my footballing teammates are my family, and my family is my family. And what football's
Yeah,
taught me is put them before you. And I think, and I hope my wife can second this thought, and I hope my parents can second this thought, that I've always put them in front of me, be it my family, be it my teammates. They're always before me. The name, as they say, cliched way of saying it, the name at the front matters more than the name at the back.
absolutely. What a lovely way it is to put it across. And that's why it's the most popular sport in the world. It has to be a
Yeah,
reason, right?
yeah, yes, definitely. I think when you talk about fans, they usually follow the name on the front. The name at the back is just an addition, you know.
Actually,
So I
actually.
think that's very important. I'd love to be scoring goals, but at the end of the day, I want my teammate to win. I want my team to win. I want 3 points on the board.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this is what football stands for. Tell me something about your set of goals when you like eventually you're out of the game. You want to
Hmm.
be there in the game as a coach, as an
Hmm.
administrator. As what are your plans? Because you love the sport so much, as I can see.
Right.
In a club in Goa, something like that. It's a dream situation, because once you love the sport, you love the sport no matter what.
Correct. For me, I think it's something that I don't wish to think of, because I want to keep playing for as long as I can. But
Yeah.
I would love to give back. I would love to give back to the sport, be it in the form of academies, be it in the form of coaching, be it in the form of business heading something, wherever I can give back to sport and be associated with. I would love to. But for me, the personal goal right now is to play the best football that my legs can take for as long as they can do it. And on a short
I'm
term goal,
sure.
I want to get back to the national team. I want to get back to the national team. I'm hungry for my jersey again. I'm hungry. I want it. I want it. And I will do everything in my power to play the best football to come back to the national team. On a personal
And
front,
what?
sorry,
Sorry, personal front.
I think on a personal front, I'm welcoming a baby this year, and I want to be a proud father. And
Oh,
it's just
wonderful!
a vision in
Congratulations,
my
congratulations, Robin.
thank you, and it's just a vision
Yeah,
in my head that I want my baby to be there
you're breaking up.
wearing
Sorry.
the national team jersey.
No, can you just you
So
were talking
that's
about your baby. You there was a you your thing was breaking up.
yeah.
You
So I
were talking
said,
about your baby. Yeah,
yeah. My bad, my bad. I'll repeat myself.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so I said I think there's an image in, or a vision in my head. A vision is the better way to put it. That I have my wife and in the stands while I play for the national team and the national anthem is playing. That's in my heart, and I'm going to do it again.
Oh, wonderful thought. Really wonderful thought. I'm sure if you have the right intent, no one can stop you. Can you hear me, Robin?
Yes, yes, yes. I don't know what
Your
happened.
your 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 your, your visual is yeah, you're moving. Yeah.
Is
Can you hear me? Can you hear me,
yeah,
Robin?
okay, now it's okay. I was just trying to move my head to make sure. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. I can, I
Okay.
can.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I'm
Let's
sure you
give it a
will
minute. So it
success. All the success. Your endeavor is really really noble in that way. You're going to really come back strong into nationality. I'm sure about it. You faced little hurdle
I have
with
to.
injuries came calling, and I'm sure you'll do well and take those giant steps forward to make India proud, and please do something so that our ranking goes up. And because one sport, we love this sport.
I
We
will
love this sport. We love
will
this
do.
sport.
I will do I will do everything in my ability. I will do
Yeah,
everything in my ability to make sure.
yeah. It was lovely having you on SK Live, Robin. Football is one sport which can make you talk endlessly about the sport. Such a popular sport, such
I
a
know I
beautiful
can I
sport,
can keep on going.
such a powerful sport, such a nation building sport. And I'm sure guys like you, who are perfect example, will keep the
Yep.
tradition intact. And all the best coming. And it's a pleasure hosting you, Robin, on SK Live. Stay safe, stay happy, and
Pleasure,
and
sir.
and keep on the
Pleasure's all
beach,
mine, sir. Pleasure's
on
all
the
mine.
beach. Keep running on the beach. And keep yourself fit. All the
Okay.
best. Thanks a lot for coming on SK Live.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Robin.
Dada. Thank you
Thank,
so much. I please be safe. My love to your family. Take care,
thank
sir.
you, thank you, thank you. Bye. Thank you.